Hello there, very good afternoon. You're joining Lunchtime News here on MTV Sports. Let's start with your headlines first. 7 Sri Lankans who have been arrested by the Saudi Arabian police detained at Camp 91 in Dammam. 480 admitted to the National Hospital within the past 2 days. French President orders French government ministers to reveal details of their personal wealth. Also, Nicolas Maduro wins Venezuela's presidential elections. Well, now we move to those stories in detail. Around 70 Sri Lankans who have been arrested by the Saudi Arabian police are being detained at Camp 91 in Dammam. The Sri Lankans have been arrested for remaining in Saudi Arabia illegally without visa.
The Sri Lankans who are detained at the 91 camp in Dammam said they are greatly inconvenienced due to the lack of facilities at the camp. They added that though they informed the Sri Lankan embassy in Saudi Arabia about the inconveniences, they are yet to receive a positive response from the embassy. The detainees further said that a fellow Sri Lankan who was sick died at the camp last Saturday. When he first contacted the Sri Lankan embassy in Saudi Arabia, Ministerial Advisor Anura Muttumala said that a group of officials visited the camp to look into the status of the Sri Lankans in question. They added that a majority of them have been granted permission to return to Sri Lanka.
Well, Director of the Accident Ward of the National Hospital, Dr. Kapila Wickramanayake, said that 480 patients were treated at the accident ward during the last 2 days. He added that there is a decrease in the amount of patients being admitted due to violent incidents and incidents related to the consumption of alcohol. Around 480 patients have arrived at the accident ward of the National Hospital. 235 of them have been admitted to in-house treatment. There is a 5% increase in patients being admitted compared to last year, but there is a decrease in the amount of patients admitted due to road accidents, incidents related to the consumption of alcohol and violence. 3 patients were treated due to injuries by lighting firecrackers, and 25 were treated due to sports-related injuries, which is an increase in numbers compared to last year. But the Press Trust of India reports that US Secretary of State John Kerry has proposed a 20% cut in American aid to Sri Lanka. In actual terms, Kerry has proposed a package of $11 million in aid for Sri Lanka, which according to a senior State Department official is a 20% drop from the actual spend for the fiscal year 2012. This is believed to be the highest drop for any South Asian country in Kerry's budgetary proposals, which were sent to Congress last week for approval. Now, moving on, 4 suspects have been arrested in connection with the recent murder of a husband and wife in Shengaladi, Batiklo. The couple's daughter was among those arrested. The police said investigations into the incident were conducted by 17 police teams under the guidance of DIG of the Eastern Province, Pujit Jasundara. The 48-year-old man and his 41-year-old wife were murdered on the 8th of this month. The police discovered their bodies lying on a bed inside their home with their throats slit. The suspects that have been arrested are the couple's 16-year-old younger daughter, her lover, and 2 of his friends. The police say further investigations are underway to determine if other parties were involved in the killing. The police added that the suspects are all underage and are grade 11 students. Well, the Minister of Health says that state hospitals receive 55 million patients annually. Secretary to the Ministry, Dr. Nihal Jayatilaka, adds that only 2% of the population receives treatment at private hospitals. He cited free health care as the main reason for majority of the population to visit state hospitals. Now, moving on, the traditional custom of anointing the head with oil during the new year was held under the auspices of President Mahinda Rajapaksa at Kiribehara in Kataragama today. The auspicious time for this ritual fell at 6:41 this morning.
A number of persons, including Chief Minister of the Uva Province, Sachinda Rajapaksa, and Parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa, were present at the event. This ceremony was also held at the Mihintale Rajamahaviharaya under the auspices of Chief Incumbent Venwal Valva Hangunavave Dhammaratna Thera at 6:41 a.m. The official ceremony of the Central Province was held at the Sri Nada Devalaya in Kandy. This ceremony was also held in Hatton at the Negro Dharama Vihara, where the main highlight was the participation of Sinhala, Tamils and Muslims at this event. The Kanri Raja Mahavihara also began this ceremony at the auspicious time of 6:41 a.m. This is the traditional event held at Bellan Villa today. This event was also celebrated in the Sri Sumanarama Vihara in Alamodara, Kalutara. Parliamentarian Arjuna Rantunga was also present at the event. The official ceremony at the Pinnaval Elephant Orphanage, where even elephants were anointed with oil, was under the auspices of Chief Minister Mahipala Herath. The indigenous people in Mahiyanganaya also took part in this ceremonial event.
Well, in more local news, a youth has drowned in the Deosopra reservoir in Madrigiria. The deceased is a 19-year-old who is a resident of Mahathalakula. The police said that he drowned while swimming last evening. Our correspondent said that the body of the deceased was found at around 7 last night. Well, the Rajarata Udane 2013 Bakwa Ulala commenced today at the SM Chandrasena Public Grounds in Katagas Diglia. News First is the media sponsor of the event. The Rajarata Udane 2013 Carnival commenced this morning under the auspices of Deputy Minister of Economic Development SM Chandrasena and the Chief Minister of the North Central Province SM Ranjit. The carnival has been jointly organized by the North Central Provincial Council, the Katagas Diglia Pradesha Sabha, the Katagas Diglia Divisional Secretariat and the Katagas Diglia Police. The carnival will comprise of New Year games, cycle races and a marathon. The Sinhala New Year, the Bakma Ulala are festivals endemic to us. So I would like to thank Eslon, the Sirsa Media Network, that shaman and officials for coming to the village and celebrating the Bakma Ulala with the people of the village.
Well,
in sports, we start with basketball. Carmelo Anthony scored 25 points before he left with a shoulder injury to help the New York Knicks down the Indiana Pacers 90 points to 80 at the Madison Square Gardens in the NBA.
Felton's jump shot no good. And Prigioni got the loose ball, and here's Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony's streak of games in a row with at least 30 points ended at 7 when he was fouled while trying to score from under the basket with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the third quarter.
He led the league a year ago. Smith. Got it in the foul.
He made one of his 2 free throws but headed for the bench soon after, where he spent the rest of the game getting his shoulder worked on.
The West, stolen, Anthony.
J.R. Smith and Chris Copeland took up the slack in Anthony's absence, with Smith scoring 15 points and Copeland 20 on an efficient 8 of 12 shooting.
Go as far as you can go. Terrific shot.
The Pacers were led by Lance Stephenson, who tallied 22 points by hitting 8 of 16 from the field, with 4 of those shots coming from behind by the 3-point line. Pacers leading scorer Paul George had a rare off day, hitting just 3 of 12 shots for 9 points.
20 for Stevens.
The win improved the Knicks' record to 53-27 and secured them the second seed in the Eastern Conference for the upcoming playoffs. Indiana fell to 49-31 with the loss, but remains 2 games ahead of the Brooklyn Nets for third place in the East, with 2 games left to play for both teams.
The Knicks even the season series at 2 games apiece.
Well, 3 policemen were hurt when Newcastle United fans clashed with officers in the city centre after their team were beaten 3-0 at home by Sunderland in a Premier League derby at St James Park.
Northumbria police said in a statement that 29 arrests were made less than 24 hours after Millwall fans disgraced their club by fighting among themselves during their FA Cup semi-final defeat by Wigan Athletic at Wembley. 14 people were arrested on Saturday, 12 Millwall supporters and 2 from Wigan, on charges including affray, public order offences, assault on police and possession of drugs. 4 police officers sustained minor injuries. Newcastle fans threw bottles and set rubbish bins on fire as mounted police tried to move the home fans back to allow the visiting supporters into a railway station for their short journey back to Sunderland. The game ended in a resounding victory for relegation-threatened Sunderland, their first win at their rival since 2000 and their biggest victory in Newcastle since 1966.
Well, that concludes our lunchtime news bulletin for this afternoon. I'm Aaron Rajaratnam for News First.